Welcome to Clout 941, the only live television show on Sarasota politics and issues. I'm Ron Filipkowski, your host. Tonight's guest is Nathan Lee, who is the husband of murder victim Denise Lee, to talk about several issues that really need to be discussed, and we're glad to have him on our show. We also have new sponsors of the show. Our sponsor, let me tell you a little story. After the first show that we did 4 months ago, we went home, watched the DVD, looked at it, and I called my friend Drew, the executive producer, and said, "What's the name of your personal trainer?" It's really tough to look at yourself on TV after you've been on it. And so we got in the gym, been working hard, and our personal trainer, Mike Friccione, Mike's 40 Plus Gym, he's been doing this forever. He's a great guy. Him and Dr. Christine Gerbstadt, who's local, has come up with a workout video that's designed for people 50 and up. And it's a workout video that you do in your home with a couple set of dumbbells. And they put together this great video, and they made a commercial out of it for our show, and they're going to sponsor our show, so you're going to see their commercial tonight. They're great people, and hopefully you'll take a look at the video. Now, on to the news. Tom Knight's house cleaning begins. First Chief Deputy Larry Dunkley was politely told to retire prior to Knight taking office. And now the head of the jail, Major Darrell Stinger, is next. He has been terminated. We're trying to find out or I should say asked to retire. We're trying to find out a little bit of the behind-the-scenes information. We talked to a lot of deputies this week about the situation. And basically we were told a couple of things. What's been in the newspaper is not really necessarily the real reason why they let him go. The reason why they wanted Major Stinger out is, first of all, Tom Knight spent a lot of time going around talking to deputies and stuff and asking them their own opinion of the inside, the command staff, and there was a broad consensus among the command staff. One name kept coming up over and over again among the troops as a guy that needs to go, and that was Major Darrell Stinger. And there was a second thing, and that is this. Several years ago, Major Stinger got a DUI, and he was arrested by a Florida Highway Patrol trooper. And Tom Knight knew the case very well, and I think it stuck in his craw a little bit. A, the fact of how that whole situation was handled by Major Stinger, and then second, the fact that nothing really happened to him in terms of he got promoted after it happened by the sheriff's office, and that's something that Knight's not going to put up with. He's already told the officers, you get a DUI, you're done, you're gone. And so how can you have a major in charge of the jail who's got a DUI? So Major Stinger's gone, and we are hearing there's going to be more heads going to roll, and that's a good thing. But you know what? We don't want to be 100% negative on the police. We had a couple of heroes of the week. Deputies Gene Nault and Deputies Robbie Martin. They were tremendous. They are good buddies of mine. They've been on the job for a long time. Those two deputies, and they've been on the job a long time, and they did a great job the other day in saving a man who had driven his car into the lake, into a pond out by the Fruitville Library, and the car was completely submerged. They got a quick call. They rushed out to the scene, took their vests off, took their duty belts off, dove into the pond. It was murky water. I talked to Deputy Robbie Martin about this today, and he kind of filled me in on some of the details. And they went down, and Gene Nault was able to reach in and unbuckle the guy's seatbelt. The guy was completely unconscious underwater. And they pulled him out of there, and they actually saved his life. He survived, despite being submerged underwater for several minutes. And they're both pretty low-key guys, especially Robbie Martin, who is pretty active in the Cattlemen's Association. And when I asked him to describe it, he said, well, it got pretty exciting out there, is how he described it. So he's a real excitable guy himself. But anyway, great job to Gene Nault and Robbie Martin. Now, this week on Inauguration Day, we went to the Democrats' inauguration party here in Sarasota County. We did some interviews, and so we have the footage of that. So for you Sarasota Democrats out there, this was your day to party. Here's the video.
Inauguration Day at 1350 Main Street at the headquarters of the Sarasota Democratic Party's presidential inauguration party, and we're with Morgan Bentley, who is a state senate candidate. Morgan, great party you have here.
Yeah, it is. Great turnout, as you can see. It's just been spectacular. Glad you could make it.
Thank you. This is like the who's who of the Sarasota Democratic Party. I see everybody here.
And at least one Republican.
That's well, they let me in. I snuck in.
Actually, we have Kathy Dent also, so we have you and Kathy.
And I did see Kathy and John back there. That's true. So, well, she's representing the Supervisor of Elections office, right?
That's right.
You know, this has a lot different feel to me than 1992 when Bill Clinton was inaugurated. Does it to you?
Yeah, oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, the Clinton election was one thing. This is an entirely different epic. It's a different message. It's just an entirely different event. I mean, it has its historic overtones because he's first African American, but it's more than that. It's something. It's a new slate. It's a wiping of the slate. It's a new start.
Why don't you sum up the Bush presidency in one sentence?
Hard to have been worse. Obviously history will judge. I mean, I'm not here to, obviously, it's a hard job. I mean, I don't think Obama's expectations are doing him any service because it's going to be hard to live up to him. And Bush, the same thing. Events dictate presidencies, and you can't choose the events that occur during your presidency. And I think George Bush had that happen to him, just like maybe Carter had it happen to him in the late 70s. You can't pick your events.
I want to ask you about the local party, too. Obama did very well in Sarasota, almost carried Sarasota, but for the local candidates didn't fare as well. What do local Democrats need to do to sort of follow in Obama's footsteps and do better in Sarasota?
Well, I think a lot of it is money, first of all. A lot of it is on the ground. I mean, you got to get out there. I mean, I knocked a lot of doors. I know you knocked a lot of doors. It really is at the local level. You know, famous Democrats said all politics is local. So, and I think that's definitely true. And that just takes time. I think in 10 years you're going to be looking at a split county pretty evenly, and that's good for both of us. I mean, it's good for the Republican Party, it's good for the Democratic Party, and it's good for people as a whole to have that kind of debate and discussion about whatever issues, because I certainly respect your views on things. It's not that, we can agree to disagree, but we can at least have a conversation about what those disagreements are, and that's good for everybody.
You ran for the first time. Can you see yourself running again?
Hey, give me a few $1 million, I might run for Congress, but no. I'm
might have an open seat.
That's right. No, I got a law practice that I got to get back up and running, and my partners are still happy to see me until that happiness wears out. I'm pretty good where I am.
Okay. Thanks, Morgan.
Sure.
We're here with Pat Liebert, who is the campaign coordinator for the Sarasota Democratic Party.
Right.
Okay, Pat, just a couple of questions. This has a lot different feel to it for me than 1992. Does it to you?
Oh, yes. I'm just so happy, and I'm so proud of this county because I believe that Sarasota County is becoming a progressive county, and this election of Obama is a wonderful event.
That brings me to my next question. Obama did very well in Sarasota County, but the local Democrats didn't across the board fare as well. What do local Democrats need to do better?
Unfortunately, we need to raise more money.
That seems to be a common answer.
We all spent 3-1, and there's just no way that we can field candidates without raising a lot more money.
The Republicans have said that the reason why they believe they did so well is because you ran too many candidates, and that if you had ran fewer and focused your resources on them, you would have done better. Do you agree with that?
No, I strongly disagree.
Imagine that, the Republicans and Democrats disagreeing. Thank you.
Thank you.